Okie dokie. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, I'm coming out live. Let's just make sure. Oh, gosh. Wrong page. Let's have a look. Come into work with me here. Just make sure I'm coming out live. I think I'm okay. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so I'm coming out live. So welcome. Day, was it? Friday, 4 of the Relabelling Reactivity Symposium. So I'm going to give it a moment for people to come in. If you do join, just let me know. Let me just adjust that a bit, that you can hear me okay before I start talking about reactivity and all the things that can help you overcome your reactivity challenges. So just if you can just put a comment, that would be great. Slurp of coffee with my Agility More mug, which I did a podcast for with one of my Relabelling Reactivity members. So let's have a look. Hopefully you can hear me. Excellent. Okay, welcome. So day 4 of the Relabelling Reactivity Symposium, which is essentially a deep dive into reactivity, the causes, the root issues, how to unpack it, how to understand it, and hopefully move forward. So on Monday, I went through, Tuesday, we started on Tuesday, the 1st of July. I went through the core causes or the core underlying issues that can contribute to reactivity: genetics, education, socialization, trauma, and relationship. And each of those can be something that affects your dog's behavior, which results in the dog displaying behavior that is qualified as reactive. We then went on to meet Angela Watson, one of the members of the Relabelling Reactivity team, and she talked about how to avoid avoidance, how the trap that so many people with reactive dogs can fall into is to make their world smaller by avoiding situations, isolating themselves from the world, for want of a better term, finding themselves in predicaments, which means that they have to avoid going out, avoid meeting dogs, avoid meeting people for fear of their dog having an outburst and being subject to either criticism from other people or an altercation and so forth. And what we want to do is break that cycle of avoidance where you can lead your best life with your dog. We then went on to meet Lou Holmes, who is one of the experts on relabelling reactivity on the team, who is an expert in nose work and scent work. Lou has trained multiple dogs to be qualified search and rescue dogs, and she's also trained hearing dogs for the deaf, dogs to find cancer cells in humans. She's also helped raise police dogs, competed successfully in obedience, and she also competes in agility, plays around with that. And an all-round, very knowledgeable dog trainer and dog owner, and has, most importantly, had the experience of living with a dog which had a very traumatic incident happen to them when they were a puppy, and how she utilized reinforcement-based dog training, advocating for the dog, working at the dog's pace, and ultimately rising and succeeding through that via the medium of teaching that particular dog, his name was Chip, to be a search and rescue dog. And as the resulting factor was that he was a phenomenal dog. And the thing that we all aspire with our reactive dogs is that people don't even know that he has a challenge. So that was Lou's story. And then finally, yesterday, we spoke and heard from Rachel Williams, one of the members of the Relabelling Reactivity community, talking about her experience with her dog, Mac, overcoming reactivity challenges and thriving and flourishing, and not only as a dog owner, but also an agility competitor, but most importantly, enhancing her relationship with her dog. So it's been a really, really information-filled 4 days. And today we're going to go through a little bit more understanding of what actually the Relabelling Reactivity course looks like. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes so you can have a look at it. And if you're interested in joining, I'll share a link after this live. So reactivity seems to be a more common issue or a common label that we attach to behaviors that range from the overzealous greeter to the dog that's fearful and defensive towards other dogs or people. And that spectrum of behaviors that they can exhibit is often chucked into a bucket and labeled reactive, and therefore we aren't really helping those dogs move forward and have confidence because we aren't being specific about what their core issue is. The key thing to resolving any behavioral problem is to identify the core root issue and not deal with the symptom. The dog's barking, lunging, flying out of the dogs is often the symptom of a emotion that's going on. Is the dog fearful? Is it worried? Is it apprehensive? Is it motion sensitive? Does it get frustrated easily? Whatever it is that causes that dog to have an outburst, we want to address that core emotion, and therefore we will see long-lasting, impactful change. Ultimately, the goal is to have a dog that other people comment, are you sure this is a reactive dog? Because we want that to be a thing of the past. Ultimately, we are looking for dogs and their owners to live their best life. I want to see you doing the things that you envisaged when you bought that particular dog or you acquired that particular dog, whether it be a rescue, a rehome, a puppy that you've bought in, or however it's come to you. That dream that you had when you picked them up of what you wanted your life to look like. My goal is to help you realize that full potential, whether it's competing in a dog sport with that dog that currently has challenges, or just taking them to a pub and having them be with you in a situation where you previously thought they would struggle. So just giving you some food for thought. So one of the most common questions I get asked is, how do you identify what of the many causes of reactivity is applicable to your dog? And the easiest way to do that is to read their temp, and that is their tails, ears, I should say tail, hopefully they just have the one, tail, ears, mouth, and posture. So if we break that down into each individual part, the first thing you want to look at is the dog's tail. What information is the tail giving you? If your dog is a docked dog, or it's lost the tail for whatever reason, obviously docking isn't legal in this country, but you still see dogs that have been imported that have docked tails, or they've had it injured and they've had to have it amputated. Still, you can read the sign subtly with their rear end movement. Is it stiff? Is it rigid? Is it frantically thrashing? Is it tucked between their legs? Depending on what the tail is doing, can often give an insight into what their dog is feeling. So if it's stiff and rigid, where probably the dog's a bit tense and it might be defensive. If it's frantically spinning around, it might be frustrated and excited. If it's tucked between their legs, it could be the dog is apprehensive or concerned. So we want to be thinking about, first and foremost, looking at the dog's tail. Secondly, we want to be looking at the dog's ears. Where are the ears orientating to? Is it forward? Is it backward? Is it on its side? Is it pulling away? Is it flattened against its head where it's diving backwards and forth? Is it alert and going forward? And the difference between those things can help us unpack which is applicable to our dog. So if the dog's going forward, it would probably be, and the dog is going, the dog's ears are forward and it's heading forward and it's barking and lunging towards something that's at a distance, is probably going to be frustrated. If it's thrashing around and moving frantically, then it's probably frustrated at trying to get to something. If it's trying to pull you forward towards or in the direction of the dog or the person or the moving item, then it's probably going to be frustration because they can't get to that thing. If it's pulling back, like diving in, pulling back, diving in, ears flat, tail between their legs, and it's probably going to be some sort of fear or worry or concern. That's the underlying emotion. So hopefully that's going to give you some insight. Tail, ears, mouth. What is the mouth doing? Is the dog barking? Is it curling its teeth? If it's snapping and pulling back? Is it frantically barking at the other dog or the other person? Is it snapping? All those things can give you an indicator of where your dog is emotionally. And finally, the dog's overall posture. What is it doing with its body? Is it on its tiptoes and heading forward? Is it pulling back? Is it low to the ground? Is it ducking away? Is it trying to avoid the situation? All of that is information. And rather than trying to unpack it in terms of what is my dog thinking, just imagine if this was a person acting in that manner, what would you say? What would be the first thing that you would think? So if the person's going forward, their chest is forward and they're going towards the other person, there's probably, or they're trying to get to them, but they can't. They're probably going to be frustrated. If they're pulling away and shying away and averting eye contact, there's probably some avoidance and worry and concern. So try to unpack what's going on with your dog, because that will ultimately help you decide how best to help them. So I always talk about keeping the solution to reactivity simple. Try and break it down to the most simple pieces. Therefore, it makes it achievable for you as a dog owner whose dog has reactivity challenges to start to overcome. So the 3 critical skills that I would advise everybody to train with their dog, irrespective of the breed, irrespective of the age and the size, etc., is a really solid sit, a brilliant down, and an amazing recall. Now, obviously, if your dog has physical limitations why it can't sit or down, then you can consider teaching an alternative behavior like a stand. But you want the dog to be able to be in a control position, ideally focusing on you and engaging with you, or at a distance and under distraction. So those things are critical for each of those behaviors, either a sit or a down or a stand, depending on your dog's physicality. Say, for example, it has back end pain or it has a history of having back end issues, and you don't want to keep asking it to go into a down, for example, or a sit, because that could further antagonize the situation. Teaching it a really good stay in a stand position would be something that you could default to. Essentially, what we're looking for is that dog to be able to be stopped in a place so that it gives us a tool to draw on. So it means that we can redirect the dog onto something positive. So my dog is lunging towards another dog, I can redirect it, ask it to sit or down, and I can reinforce that behavior as an alternative. Alternatively, if I see another dog coming, it allows me to put my dog in a controlled position and reinforce that behavior. That's critical. We want to be using reinforcement to overcome these challenges, reinforce the behavior that I want, so it's going to deter or hopefully prevent the dog from offering or being in the position to behave in a way that's deemed inappropriate. The other entity is having a fantastic recall. And when I talk about a fantastic recall, that's any distance, any time, under any distraction, anywhere. So we want to be thinking about having a recall where you are willing to wager me, and hopefully you're going to be coming along with this bit, $1,000, pounds, euros, whatever currency you have, that your dog's recall is absolutely a 10 out of 10, or certainly as best as you possibly can get it. The reason that we want that level of confidence is because that's going to open up your dog's world. It means that you can give them more freedom because you have the confidence that if you call them, they're going to come back instantaneously. So in Relabelling Reactivity, there's some recall games that you can teach your dog, and name response games, all those foundation skills that you can teach your dog that's going to allow you to master those 3 skills so that you can allow your dog to have more freedom and give you confidence that you can navigate the majority of situations without I'm frozen. Without the dog being in conflict. Oh, just let me know if I'm hopefully moving it around again. Let me just check before I start talking. Bear with me. Nope. Okay, I think I'm back again. So hopefully those 3 skills are going to allow you to navigate the majorities in situations that you find yourself in, intentionally or otherwise. Now, for the final percentage, that 5 to 10 percentage that's over, then we can be looking at building confidence, more complex skills, giving the dog a healthy outlet, providing alternative enrichment tools, and so forth and so forth. So that's where we're going to be looking at confidence, outlets for their mental energy and physical energy, and also teaching them core skills and additional skills which are going to further enhance your dog's life and your world. The beauty of the Relabelling Reactivity course is that you don't have to have access to millions of other dogs and millions of other people. It's all about your relationship with your dog. It starts off in the home where you work on key skills, and then you take them to different environments. On the course, there's several ebooks that you can download as part of the course, which really give you tools and insight into how you can go about creating focus and connection with your dog. So whilst people are digesting, hopefully I'm back moving. Yeah, I think I am. I'm okay now. Feel free to ask any questions and post them in the comments, and I can have a look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually give you a little sneak peek, into the course. So if I just add that, so if I just come out of that, this is a glimpse into the Relabelling Reactivity course. So the Relabelling Reactivity course is run on a platform called Mighty Networks, simply because it is so easy to navigate and to get around. You can see here that each of the tabs there can be clicked on. You might click on the Welcome tab, and it gives a bit of information and a video. Hopefully it'll come up in a second. There we go, which can be played. And then it gives you a little bit of text here to read through. And then there's the ebooks that you can download at your leisure and have a look at. So if I go back, once you get into the meats and bones of the course, You can have a look. There's webinars here on stress and frustration, annoying the adolescent, relabelling reactivity, firefighting reactivity, 4 webinars there. And then there's masses and massive content information. If I look here on different skills to work on with the dog. So this is one on tugging. So this is a lecture on tugging and all the idiosyncrasies and nuances of tugging. And you can watch these again at your leisure and then work through the various skills. And then you can look at, there's the section on mindfulness and self-help with videos on breathing techniques, self-care. Obviously, Angela's contributed. Movement for Modern Life CEO Kat France has contributed a section on breathing and being aware of your responses when you're in fight or flight. And then it talks about the various types of reactivity: defensive reactivity, emotion and prey-based reactivity, arousal-based reactivity, offensive reactivity, and fear-based reactivity. So all those things, again, can contribute and be the underlying causation factor. And then moving through the course, there's, again, stacks and stacks of videos that you can work through. So as part of joining the course, the other entity that will happen is that you'll become part of the Relabelling Reactivity Collective, which is a group where all the members join and they can participate in additional lives. They can put videos for feedback. They can get support, a shoulder to cry on, a place to vent, and all the above. So it's an incredible community. You heard from Rachel yesterday, where she gave an insight into being part of that community. So if it's, again, something that you think is going to be applicable to you, have a look. All you have to do is go to, I'll share a link, go click on the link, and you can join today. And the sign-ups are going to be, the doors are going to be open until next Friday. So if you're mulling it over and you're not sure, send me a message and I can obviously guide you and give you some advice about working on whether it's going to be applicable. Several people have already contacted me. I've given them some advice about whether I think it's suitable for them and their specific dog. And we've had dogs that have been older and people have want to work through their reactivity challenges for whatever reason. We've had dogs that are in adolescence. So the spectrum of people that have gone through the process is broad and wide. So it's applicable and can be for any breed of dog, any person, anywhere in the world. So if you're interested in joining the Relabelling Reactivity community, I will share a link in the, oh, that's so quick. I'll do that now, actually. I will share a link now. If I go here, oh, let's have a look. So I'm just gonna share a link. Let's have a quick look. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm gonna share a link in the comments. So if you're interested in joining, feel free to do so. So as I said, if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to reach out to me privately and I can guide you along that process. So reactivity is definitely one of my passions that I love to help people and I love to help them get the life that they envisage for themselves. And often, reactivity can be one of those things that you unintentionally find yourself dealing with your dog, and not knowing a way out can be a really, really all-consuming thing. So having a supportive community, a mentor, and peers that you can lean on and help guide you through the process can be both empowering and invigorating. So just some thoughts there about reactivity. And obviously, if you're interested in joining the Relabelling Reactivity course, it is going to be open until next Friday to sign up, with which we'll close the doors. And not sure when it will be open. So if you're interested, now is the time to sign up. So I don't know if anybody has any questions that's watching. And if you feel you want to ask a question, by all means, feel free to post it in the comments. Let me just make sure. Let's have a look. Sure. I'm not missing the comments. Yeah, I think that's it. So, look. I think we're all good. All right. So, as I said, if you're thinking about joining Relabelling Reactivity and you're a little bit unsure, you want more information, just reach out to me. My intention for creating the course was simply to give people a opportunity to achieve the life that they've always wanted with their dog. So, hang on a second. So look. Jill, is there different content to the OT? Yes, Jill, there definitely is. There's a lot more content specifically towards reactivity and dealing with reactivity challenges. So it goes into a deep dive into different types of reactivity, core skills to teach your dog, scent work, nose work, self-care is a really a broad course. So if you have somebody that's struggling with reactivity, by all means. A dog that's over aroused isn't necessarily a dog that has reactivity challenges. And I appreciate, obviously, with your dog, he gets over aroused by the dogs, but it wouldn't necessarily be reactive. So the course is, let's have a look. So Denise asked the same question. The cost is, so the cost for the course can be either paid annually, or monthly. Let me just double check. I'm just going to make sure I've got the right. Gosh, let me come out that. Bear with me. So the cost of the course, let me get this right. I'll read off the website so I absolutely know. So the course, if you purchase it annually, is £497 annually as a one-off fee. And as I said, you get access to the course and the VIP Facebook group. If you pay monthly, it's £49 a month, which is, incredibly affordable and cheap in comparison to if you were going to get behavior consults and getting all that follow-up information. It's incredibly cost effective for people that are struggling with reactivity challenges. So, the intention of the course was to make it so that it could help as many people as possible. And obviously the goal is to make it so that people can afford it. So hopefully that answers your question. Hang on a second. How long do you access the group after working with online course? So you have access to the VIP group for 12 months. You pay an annual subscription. Most of the people, to be honest, remain in the group. And then people that are in the community get a discounted rate. Once you're in the Relabelling Reactivity community, you get opportunity to continue with the group. And there's various bonuses and discounts that you get as part of the community. So once you've subscribed and you've gone through the course, people have bought through the course and not continued just on the course, and they've got what they wanted and they moved on. A lot of people just love being around the community and being part of that. And I'd say the majority of people do that. They end up staying in the community because they love the supportive entity to it. So, but yes, you have it for 12 months, Lucy. So hopefully that helps answer that question. All right. Okay. I think that's all the questions. Okay. All right, all. Hopefully that's been helpful. As I said, my intention for creating My intention for creating Relabelling Reactivity was to allow people to live their best life with their dogs. Whether that be taking your dog down the high street and walking without it lunging at people and dogs, or taking it for a walk and knowing that the dog will be reliable in situations where you may find yourself. That was the goal. And it's actually grown to be so much more. Relabelling Reactivity is a community of people that uplift, support, and guide each other on the process of turning your reactive dog into the poster child for well-behaved dogs. The most uplifting and empowering feedback that we get consistently is, are you sure this dog is reactive? Because they don't believe that people have had the challenges that they had. So that definitely is the thing that I'm most proud of. As I said, if you're interested, if you're undecided, just reach out to me privately. I can absolutely guide you, and I'll be truthful whether I think it's going to be applicable to your particular dog. But if you know anybody that's struggling with reactivity, feel free to share the information with them. Even if they just go to YouTube or to Facebook and watch the videos, by all means, enjoy. Hopefully that will help people. There's one final live tomorrow. I'm yet to determine the time. I'll come back to you and let people know. But other than that, thank you very much for participating. Thank you very much for questions. And obviously, hopefully, you've had an insight into how the course looks. I look forward to having some of you on the group. Whatever you're doing, have a fantastic evening. Be safe, look after yourself, and see you soon.